You guys know how the WEF has been doing one of their annual meetings this past week? With World Economic Forum and the Davos Group and like billionaires and elites that run a bunch of companies and make a lot of decisions about how things in the world are going to go, right? They do this every year, and they've been doing it up in, I think it's in Sweden, where they go meet. And you might have heard of James O'Keefe before. He's an investigative journalist, and he tries to expose a lot of different things. And he actually went undercover up to their meeting place, and he was able to get in, and he was speaking to them about weather modification and about chemtrails and putting chemicals, into the sky and all this shit.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
And
been
hoping that you
so
drop in.
very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like
My
ice.
mother will start to
Beautiful
worry.
what shows.
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace.
And just
Really, I'd
watch how it's not a conspiracy theory to them.
just a happy
They know all of this very well. Let's check it out.
Offered their own experiences with weather modification, SAI, motivations, interests, and told us that they were actually interested in working with us, having them invest in us, or having us invest in them. We talked to this one Swedish guy who said absolutely fantastic.
So we invest in these technologies to assist with the warming climate, and the effect of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere will help block some of the warming, and the particles stay in the air for 1 year. So, and actually we're speaking to some of the airplane manufacturers and to see if they can emit some of our technology into the atmosphere to help with the global warming. That's right. Yeah, climate. I mean, we don't like to use the term climate engineering. It scares people, so we prefer.
But it's but for me, being an engineer, I think that's actually what you do. It's
Oh,
like
yes.
You can have financial engineering, you can have, I'm sure, climate engineering, because it involves something that's more scientific.
Yes,
and,
exactly. You're an engineer. You understand. And from Sweden, right? So we don't like to call them chemtrails. We don't like to use this.
So what do you call it instead?
Well, we call it aerosol injection. Aerosol. It's kind of like little droplets.
Okay.
And the droplets form in the air, and they stay there for a year.
Yeah.
It's modeled kind of a mini volcanic eruption, actually.
Yeah. I mean, aviation fuels have some sulfur in them, so
Yeah.
it creates some sulfur dioxide emissions naturally, and that does have a cooling effect.
Now this guy, Kennedy Ritchie, who runs a company called 4Air, spoke on stage, and he says on his website that he wants to, quote, decarbonize the aviation industry. He actually told me he was trying to eliminate contrails entirely, but then brought up cloud seeding.
A lot of the work actually came out of the military, so they do this all the time.
Have you worked with them at all?
No, because they're a little more closed door about their procedures.
You never heard of sulfur dioxide?
Yeah.
You've heard of that? Okay.
Yeah. It's actually pretty cheap to do it. The
Oh, yeah.
ability to put sulfur dioxide there is actually a pretty cheap way to cool down the earth.
Oh, yeah.
So the opportunity for one or two people to do it is impressive. He went a little further. He's like, it'd be interesting if the government start doing this over each other's territories on purpose. Like if we start getting to weather modification as a
Oh, yeah.
government, either good or bad.
Yeah.
The closest one I'm aware of one is someone called the Airborne Snow Observatory. They do some more like weather, I don't want to say modification, but more like upper atmosphere weather monitoring.
So, this shit is literally happening, and it's been happening for a while, and actually it stays out of like public knowledge type of stuff because all of this type of stuff was deemed global warming was deemed like a national security issue. So when they do anything like this through the government or through contractors and stuff, connected to any type of official authority, they're able to not disclose or talk about any of it because it goes into secrecy that you aren't allowed to know about. But what you can know is that you're the issue and you're causing global warming because you drive a car. You're the problem, not us completely manipulating the atmosphere and the climate and using chemicals to steer things and temperatures and everything in a way that we want to. It's you. You're doing it. And so you should buy an electric car, even though everything it takes to build those electric cars is very bad for the environment.